guys, thanks for tuning in. Quick little video today. I want to talk about regulations and banning. Now, this kind of comes out of a conversation I was having on one of the live chats recently where we were talking about firearms, specifically things like select fire, full auto firearms, AR-15s, AK-47s, things like that. Things that are technically legal for most people to own depending on where you live, but that are very cost prohibitive because they are so highly regulated and restricted. We were talking about the difference between, like, let's say somebody in law enforcement or somebody in the military and their ease of access to those types of firearms compared to the average citizens. And we were really kind of discussing whether or not you could technically consider that almost a ban in many respects because of the fact that the regulations are so intense and that the hoops that many times people have to jump through are so vast. And the money you have to pay to get a hold of these firearms, because they're so highly regulated, oftentimes most people simply won't bother. So ultimately, restrictions lead to almost the same thing as a ban. Now, why is this important? Why is this something we should care about? Most of us out there don't really care about select fire firearms. We're happy with our semi-autos. Most of us really aren't that concerned with this issue. There are a few that are, but most of us aren't. Well, we need to be concerned with it because not only as somebody who's pro-Second Amendment, as most people out there who are watching are, we need to understand that regulations, that enforcing restrictions and making things cost prohibitive is something that they don't just do with firearms. These are things that we see every day of our lives. If you smoke, you see it when you pay for a pack of cigarettes. I mean, look at the federal tax, the sin tax that comes on these things. Go to places like New York where they, try banning 2 liters of soda or Twinkies or whatever else. I mean, these are things that affect our day-to-day lives. Now, the government says they do it for our own good, but I thought we lived in a free society. And this is why it's important to pay attention to what our government's doing, and not just on a federal level, okay, but on a state and a local level as well. It's very, very important that we pay attention to what's going on. Because ultimately, in the end, if the government can get away with banning something, they will. But if they can't, they'll just regulate it to the point of prohibition.